Ministry is so much more than taking classes, learning facts, and writing them down for a test. But but it's body and soul, not just your mind. And so it's that engagement of all of yourself, which a seminary education, rubbing shoulders with professors, your other students, in a congregation that enfolds you and loves you and takes you in. And yeah, it might be new to you, a new group of people, but that's the call in the ministry, right? You're going to have that where, as you go here, there, and wherever the Lord leads you. It's so crucial for them to be in a church, boots on the ground, as you say.
It gives the student an opportunity to use their gifts and talents in many different ways that they may not have in the church where they're currently attending. They have the opportunity when they're here at Mid-America as a part of the MAP program to be doing some teaching and leading in different areas.
One of the many things that attracted me to Mid-America Reformed Seminary is their MAP, which stands for Ministerial Apprenticeship Program.
The education from seminary is not simply, it's not simply learned in the classroom, and it can't be. You can learn all you want to from readings and from discussions with your fellow classmates, and even discussions with professors about what worship is like in a church. But if you're divorced from the church while you're doing it, I don't think you really actually fully learn it.
We've seen a lot of benefits being plugged in to the local church here as well, in the fact that engaging another set of God's people, it really brings to life a lot of what we're learning in seminary.
I think the benefits of students being part of a local church in the area that's not their home church in seminary is that you experience a whole different side of the church that you're not necessarily as used to, which is good in preparation for ministry itself, but you also are enfolded and embraced into a church itself where they accept you as their own as a student.
The board wholeheartedly sees the value of having these students in our midst with us here so that we can interact with them, evaluate them, see their gifts and their talents, and then help them grow those gifts and talents.
The great blessing of being at a particular seminary in its location, in its region, in its environment, and being part of a local congregation within that community is significant because that man gets to interact with people who are probably different from him in their experiences, in their backgrounds, in their situations, than perhaps the community that he lived in prior to coming to seminary. When he comes to seminary and he's in a particular region or area, that people have experiences that will also help to shape him in ways that he couldn't get if he were simply engaged in seminary classes online.
Being here on the ground, seeing the way that the men, the professors interact with the students, care for the students, you see the passion. They're really preaching to us when they teach. That happens so often, and that impresses on us what then we can take to this body here.
I thank God using this experience of uprooting, the call to seminary, the call to the ministry, using it to just really mold and shape us. Since being here, it was funny, we recently had the conversation that we are so grateful that we feel at peace with the call here at seminary, but we really feel the molding and the shaping and the growing.
It is also beneficial for me that I get to meet other ministry wives from different congregation. Whenever I talk to them, it is always encouraging and an avenue of learning for me.
The idea of moving and transplanting a family to a different community, a different church, a different city is intimidating. But the Lord often calls us to do hard things, and when He does, He is there to meet us in those trials, and it is a great blessing to see His care over His people and to see how His people are used to meet each other's needs.
We have the opportunity as the churches in this area to really enfold and to embrace these students and their families. And I really would encourage you to consider Mid-America, because that's one of the greatest of blessings and benefits that Mid-America has to offer, is the very close connection between the seminary and the churches.
It's difficult to move your family and uproot them and attend, and that can be hard, but it's also a great preparation for what you may be called to do, that this is what's asked of us, and being able to experience that in a partial way is also a blessing for you and your family. And you grow in your faith, you have to rely on God to do it.
For your well-rounded development, the Lord will lead you in a far better place when you come to Mid-America, when you get accepted into a congregation like ours, and you see that God's people are found more than just where you grew up, more than where you're comfortable with, but God has His people all around the world, but also right here in Dyer, Indiana, right where you can be used and blessed by the Lord's work in your life.